I'm Michael Mayer, and this is The Retrade. Let's get to it. Today I'm here with my friend, mentor, and my team lead, Jason VanZant.
Hello.
VanZant Group.
Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Doing great.
So I've been telling Jason about this idea of mine to do this show for a while, and I tell him a lot of ideas I have, and I'm sure he's just like, yeah, Mike's got another idea.
Right.
Too many ideas. But this one's come to fruition, so it's starting to happen. This is our fourth show.
Cool.
So we've had a lender on. The first one was just kind of a test run with a buddy, and then we had the lender on, Rose, and then we had a friend with the NFIB. She came in to talk about small business loans and all that stuff, the EDIL and the PPL. So we can bring that up real quick. There was more money put into the PPPL, so it looks like the small business loan site crashed, and that was yesterday, right?
A couple times, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was like 3 minutes into opening.
Hungry hippos, man. Everybody wants them.
Well, I think everyone had time to get their applications ready and they're prepared for it. So as soon as the floodgates opened, I mean, they just bombarded it. It wasn't designed to handle that many applications.
And then you guys applied for it, right?
We have one in, yeah.
Okay.
So-
And you guys did the EIDL?
We did the EIDL. Yeah, we got that.
How'd that go?
1K per employee. We ended up getting that one.
Okay.
So yeah, didn't get any notification. Just all of a sudden, check your bank account and you see
Free money?
funds show up. It's 1,000 per employee. We got 4, so we got $4,000.
I didn't see that money go to my account, but I did see a couple $100 come in for my revenue share.
Yeah.
Another revenue
Nice.
share check. Yeah.
All right.
I wasn't expecting it at all.
You're on the map now. Cool.
For those that know eXp Realty, we're with eXp, and they do a revenue share, and it's cool. Like, you bring other agents over because you like the company, they come and join, and then they just do their thing and sell houses, and all of a sudden you get a check for some of the money that they put towards the company of their share, of their percentage, their split, right? And it's nice.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you got money in your account.
22nd of every month.
Yeah.
I always know I can count on that.
You don't even have that big of a network built out yet, and you're still getting decent
Not
sized
yet,
checks.
yeah,
Like,
I mean-
when we were selling houses, obviously.
We're still, the last month, it's still in the thousands every month.
Your revenue share, like 3,000-4,000.
We're not supposed to talk numbers, you know, but
Yeah, pretty good though, man. not being in this too long, extra money. What else we got going on? So the site crashed, but I'm sure it's back up. So if you haven't applied for the PPL, that is the Paycheck Protection Program Loans. If you use, I think it was 75% of it towards keeping your
Employees.
staff around, your employees, then and use that money towards paying their paychecks and towards your mortgage and supplies and whatnot, then you can that'll actually turn into a grant. You want to pay it back.
yeah.
All right, so let's we jumped into that real quick. So let's go back to you. You and your wife Veronica, you guys are a team.
Yes, we are.
All right, and for those that don't know, Jason and Veronica, power couple in the real estate industry here in Vegas. How many houses did you sell last year?
As a team, over 100. Us in our own production, 50, 60, somewhere in there.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. And here your Zillow says 68 in the last 12 months, and it says we have a 7-person team here, but I see some faces that
Probably needs to be updated.
yeah, that's all right there. We got Rasmika here. She's a new one.
Yeah.
How's she doing so far?
She's good. Unfortunately, she jumped in at the bad time.
Yeah.
We were just starting to get her trained, and then kind of everything hit. And so, you know, it's tough right now because a lot of people are in kind of the holding phase right now in the market. So she was hitting the ground running, but bad timing.
I've got Jordan going again. Jordan's one of my realtors I brought over, and she's going to start doing some more. She's an open house we had back in the summer, or back in the, not in the summer. She's been around that long. Back in the fall. We met a guy that had some property, and he wants to sell 2 vacant lots. So she's getting contract for both vacant lots. By the one you sold.
Okay.
Out there off of
on Wagon Wheel, yeah.
Ish.
Kennerly.
Further north than Wagon Wheel, though. Way further north.
Yeah.
Off for like racetrack in Ithaca or something.
Right.
What have you guys been up to during this thing? Are you guys still working hard?
Well, we've taken this time. You know, obviously we're slower. I'd say we lost, you know, close to half of our escrows when the stock market really started to hit and they started to do the closures. I mean, we had some people that were working in the industry and down on the special events, and so their jobs dried up. They, you know, rightfully so, got scared and pulled out of the market, canceled their transactions. So, I mean, business has obviously been slower than normal. I hear agents say like, oh, I've never been busier. I don't know what you guys are doing the last 8 to 10 years, but there's less transactions and less buyers in the market. It's starting to pick up a little bit now, but
I can see they're busier now because they're working so hard to try to find deals.
Possibly. But, so we've taken this time to kind of dissect the business a little bit, analyze the business. One, go over all of our expenses. Where can we trim the fat? What can we maybe cut just to be lean and mean right now? We don't know how the rest of this year is going to shape up.
I dropped into the office the other day and I saw that we're down to another smaller space.
Yeah, so I got to take a couple desks out.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is there's not that many people coming to the office. At any given time, there's 1, 2, maybe 3 of us. So it's a downsized space a little bit.
So I want to parlay that into something that I've been thinking about, and I brought this up in my second episode with Rose, is that with all these people working from home, right, and they're actually getting shit done.
Right.
People are working from home, and they're trying to prove that they can work from home so they can get away with working from home. And I think a lot of corporations and companies after this are going to realize that, hey, maybe our people can work from home and get stuff done.
There's a good chance.
So there might be an issue with commercial real estate, like office space anyway.
Yeah, we don't know. One way to look at it is they're going to need the extra space when people go back because we might have more distant working spaces.
True.
But they may send some staff just to work from home, the ones that they feel that can do that. So, it's kind of up in the air where that's going to play out. But a lot of companies, if their profits are down or whatever, they may downsize that space and put more people at home and not carry that overhead. So
I just think it's an old mentality to think everybody has to be in the same workspace to work together with Zoom meetings, with all this stuff. I mean, look at eXp.
Right.
We don't have offices. When I said I went to the office the other day, it's one that Jason pays for and supplies for us team members. But overall, eXp doesn't really have offices. We have a virtual world, and it's pretty cool. And we seem to get things done. But there are a lot of agents that we tell about it, and there's no office to go to, and they freak out.
Right.
What do I do?
Right. Well, I mean, right now agents are learning, hey, I have to work from home. Kind of everyone. I mean, big corporations are working from home right now. So everyone's kind of learning that, hey, we can make this work, and so. I think we'll see a shift in that mentality, especially maybe in the real estate space.
Okay.
Because with eXp, as other companies were trying to shift and figure it out and Zoom and how do we do this? How do we make this work? And we're over here like, hey, we've been doing this for 10 years, so.
Yeah. Zoom's been very helpful. You heard about the Zoom hacks, right?
No.
Have you had this happen yet?
No.
So hackers have been hacking into Zoom because Zoom didn't expect to have all this traffic they've all suddenly got. And there's some holes in their system. Hackers have been getting into business meetings and putting up dick pics in the.
Oh no, really? No, I haven't heard about that. Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to check into that. I want to read that story.
So if you're in a Zoom meeting and the dick pic pops up, it's probably don't get mad at the people on the thing. It's probably not them. What else we got? Oh, I got a surprise right here. Let's see. I like to talk about what do you guys do this weekend, and I pulled up some pictures. Let's see what you got here. Tell us about this picture here. I rated your Facebook.
There you go. My surprise oyster day. Yeah, so me and Veronica is one of our favorite hobbies and one of our pastimes. We like going out to nice restaurants or nice lunches, and at least once or twice a week we'll go get some oysters and do stuff. And so, we're at home and we're enjoying our quarantine time and with the, some extra time at home with the kids. And after a while, she's like, "Gosh, I just want some oysters." I'm like, "Yeah, me too." So I go to Whole Foods. I'm like, "You guys got oysters?" And they got a dozen Blue Point oysters. So went and got some ice and
see some tuna in there.
Yeah. Got a couple of sushi plates and tried to recreate a nice little lunch poolside there. So it came out really well. Actually, the oysters are great.
Look at you. Veronica was impressed. She posted all about it.
Yeah, she was happy.
All right, here's another photo from your Facebook.
Yep. So can't be more socially distanced and isolated than going out to the middle of the sand dunes. So
where you're at, the desert?
We were in Dumont.
Okay.
Yeah, so loaded up the trailer, took the car out, it was actually Easter weekend.
Yeah.
Went to Dumont, rode around the dune buggy a little bit and
so realtors,
camped out.
If you guys are city folk and don't really know about the outside of Vegas here, when you're talking to clients that have toys, Dumont Sand Dunes is a big sand dune area. It's an hour and a half away from here to the west, and it's pretty cool. We go out there all the time.
Yeah.
I actually think I have a picture of your car here. Let's show that one.
Oh yeah, they just posted. That was the second time so it was an old picture. I was actually on the cover, and then they did a shoot and added cars, but yeah, I was on. I was.
I know which one's you, but tell everybody which one was you.
So the one on the right side, middle of the page, is all black car with the dual American flag. So.
Flying the Freedom. Everybody's flying the Freedom there. Look at.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty crazy picture. So if you see, they zoomed in on the car, but if you see the whole picture, they're airing it out pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was these Neil's?
That was Neil's, yeah.
Yeah.
It was probably the biggest jump I had ever hit. I hit the lip, and I was in the air a good 3 seconds.
Is this the Talladega jump?
No, that one's over more by Comp Hill. It's not there anymore.
To the west
Way
of Comp
left,
Hill.
yeah. When you go up that big steep one, and you'd get it, and it was a step up. But yeah, the side view, I mean, you see there's like probably a good 10, 15 feet of ground beneath the car.
Damn. Airing it out. All right, what else we got here? We got the little one.
Yeah.
Had a birthday recently, right?
Yep. So he had his birthday party at home. We did some family did a drive-by happy birthday.
Really?
Drove up. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm like, your family can come in, but they're like, all right. They drove up in the car, happy birthday, gave the gift. So it was beginning of April, yeah.
And then we gotta show the other little guy too. There's all. Where's
Yeah.
There he is. So is this a graduation?
Yeah, that was actually last year.
Okay. I went back a
Graduating.
little bit to find one hand.
Yeah.
The other guy. All right, and I got some pictures of myself this weekend too. Here's what I did for fun.
Working on cars.
Working on the vet.
Never would have guessed it.
My harmonic balancer was going out.
Uh-huh.
There are two pieces and the outer part separates and it starts wobbling and your belt just starts squeaking, dude.
Oh,
So
really?
bad.
Wow.
I'd go down the street like a car alarm going down the road.
Wow.
It was really bad. So I had to jack it up and put a new one in there. But she's all good to go now. Actually thinking about trying to put together like a little cruise one of these weekends. Everybody with a kind of sports car.
Mhm.
You got the Cadillac, the CTSV, that's the bad boy. You should come join us.
Go cruise around the lake road or something?
Yeah. And then there's the desert. So I've been staying at my girl's house out on Mountain's Edge, and we're so close to the desert, we just walk out there and take the dogs. So we hiked
cool.
up to the top of the mountain, and that's looking out into there's a water retention
Yeah, nice
pond
spot.
out there for runoff. And if you look back the other way towards the city, there we go.
Cool.
Good old Las Vegas.
Nice view.
So how are the kids dealing with this whole stay at home? Do they understand it? Do they?
Yeah, Aiden's too young to understand it. He just knows that mom and dad are home more, and he's taking advantage of that and liking it. Austin's 6, so he's like, hey, I know we're home because of the virus.
Right.
So we're trying to do the homeschooling as best as we can. It's hard to be productive, and that's what you were saying, what have you been doing kind of in this off time? And we have been working, but, with a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old at home, and me and Veronica both being active in the business and essential to the business, it's hard. We're definitely not putting in our full 8 hours each.
Right.
We're trading off. Hey, you watch the kids a couple hours, you go work. And luckily we have the RV garage with the extra loft over there, so we set up an office over there so we can actually get away from the house and not hear screaming, crying, mommy, daddy.
Not the man's den anymore?
It's become a dual purpose. It's actually big enough, the desk fit in there.
It is.
Yeah, so, but so we're fortunate to have that. But yeah, we've kind of had to do that because trying to work with kids and I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, he pushed me, I'm like, oh man, it's hard to concentrate. So, but we have been, staying busy and like I said, breaking down the business and reevaluating stuff and staying in touch with clients. We've got a couple closings. We just had one on this past Friday at 4:30. We've got one closing tomorrow.
And you still got some flips going on?
I have 2.
Yeah. One's about done.
One, yeah, it's done. Once the cable's hooked up and the cameras are on.
He was supposed to be here, Cox. I don't know about you guys. He was supposed to be here like 2 hours ago. He's waiting on you, and he still never showed up.
Yeah, so 10 to 12 appointment. At 1, they said we're going to be there between 1 and 3. I'm like, I'm gone, man. third appointment I had. I don't know what's going on with them.
I know those guys that are networks getting stressed out with all this stuff on it, but still,
Yes.
like,
Yeah. So yeah,
Just
trying to get cameras up on
communicate,
it.
right?
Yeah. So new flip. The appliances just got installed. I usually like to have the cameras up before the appliances and all that are in.
Yeah.
So, but we put a brand new air conditioner on it. Appliances. I mean, it's in a good area, downtown Henderson. But people
Also
see these
nice,
vacant homes. So.
Yeah. When's the other one gonna be done?
They're about midway through. They finished demo. They're starting to do the drywall, stuff like that. I don't know, probably 2-3 weeks.
Okay.
It wasn't as big of a project as this past one. So.
You have some rentals.
We still have a few.
Yeah. What'd you do? Did you
4.
Did you help your renters out?
You know, I checked in with all the renters, and if they had job loss and if they had a hardship, I would have worked with them. Luckily, mine didn't have that. I don't feel like you're entitled to something just for whatever reason. So, you know, but if one of them was out of work, I'm not going to lay the hammer down on them. I would have, you know, I would have worked with them. So, but every one of them was like, hey, no, my job's good. My hours are still there. I'm like, okay, if you need help, let me know. But
perfect.
Luckily, mine were.
And that's how you should be, guys. If you're an investor and you own some property, just work with your people. You don't owe it to them, but you know, it's gonna make for a better relationship.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some local news. This is kind of sad. The man who brought the crosses to the Las Vegas Strip after the Route 91 shooting, appears he is in hospice care now with bladder cancer, terminal bladder cancer. That's sad.
Yeah.
So I know everyone is real appreciative of the crosses they put out, and Vegas Strong was really.
Yeah, he kind of helped lift the morale with the crosses.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he really stepped up right there.
So it's really unfortunate, but he can, you know, he can know that he did some good in this world.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's good, and his family can know that. What else we got here? Let's talk about some Vegas mega projects halted, but most regional work moves forward. So I was just browsing this before you got here. Looks like a lot of stuff still going on, but stuff like the Sphere.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that? Let's see. All right, the Sphere is on pause. If you guys don't know, this is a 17,500 seat arena. It's being built. It's owned by Madison Square Gardens. It's being built just back behind the Sands Convention Center. It's a pretty massive project. They've got quite a bit done. I'm shocked that they're halting that.
It said they were like 50% of the way through, but I think it's because it's not close enough to being done that they were able to push that date out.
Right, and maybe because it's an arena, and we're probably not going to get allowed into arenas for possibly another year or two. I hate to say that, but
We'll see what happens with the Raiders.
Who knows? Right. NFL's got a lot of pool. We'll see. It looks like the Drew, that was the former Fountain Blue. That's also on hold. What else we got here? Construction continues on Allegiant Stadium. This is the Raider Stadium.
Yeah.
$2 billion Raider Stadium. That's crazy.
Say they're still on track for the season, but I don't know. We'll see.
It says they've had 2 workers at the site test positive for COVID-19 in early April, as well as an administrator and a trade partner who visited the site on April 7th. But the administrator is not symptomatic. What else we got here? Looks like the Las Vegas Convention Center edition. That is continuing on, the West Hall, along with the transportation tunnels being built by Elon Musk and his boring project. What else here? Resort World. Resort World's still going. They've had 3 workers test positive. And 2 cases reported in March. So 3 in April, 2 in March.
So they were periodically shutting down, sanitizing, and getting back to work.
Get back to work.
So
I know that I have a friend that's working down there. Actually, Julie that came in last episode, her husband works down there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a union iron worker. He's a welder.
Mm-hmm.
And he says they come in every day and check their temperatures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they're doing the best they can.
Yeah, our buddy Aaron, he's over at the Venetian. He says that they got the thermal scanning cameras, so before they come into work, they scan their temperature, and if you show any elevation, you get sent home. If not, you go to work. So I've been reading about that. I guess some of the casinos
it's in the news now.
Yeah, so now they're going to say they're going to start scanning the customers too and monitoring temperatures.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting, huh?
I just hope customers plan on coming back. That's the thing, you know. I mean, there's a lot of people, a lot of us that might say, "Oh yeah, we'll go out as soon as it comes back," but you know, that's still a small majority of the.
These Californians are jonesing. They gotta come have their fix.
Hopefully.
I don't think they're gonna stay away.
I hope. All right, let's go on to the next one here. All right, this is a report from the University of Nevada, UNLV. What to expect in the Las Vegas housing market. I know you've read up on this, so.
Yeah.
That's what to expect.
So as an analyst, you know, that was looking at the market and looking at statistics, and you know, at this point we're all kind of speculating. Nobody knows. Nobody has a crystal ball. So anybody that says this is what's going to happen, I mean, it's it's a guess, you know, their best guesstimate, and some are going to guess better than others. So this guy's pretty knowledgeable and is using facts and what he thinks. So he talks about, you know, what's going to happen long term, short term. Short term, I think we all know it's already having some impact. You know, the volume of sales were down. Buyers are offering less than they were before this happened, you know, beginning of March, which was a crazy market that we were in. So some buyers are taking advantage and they're saying, hey, I'm gonna get a better price than I was before and lock in a low interest rate. But they're negotiating down. They're not offering the crazy price they were. So, I mean, we're already seeing that, but the article says the same thing, is that, you know, in the short term, yes, we do think that we're going to see some, you know, price decreases just because so many people are out of work. But is this going to be the housing crash? There's a fly in here. It's like buzzing. Is this going to be a housing crash like it was in 2008? No, the dynamics just aren't there, you know. Things are different. You know, banks have lent differently. There's a lot more responsible homeowners out there.
I talked about this in my previous episodes, the differences between now and then.
Sure, okay.
Things were like, people have more equity in their homes.
Right.
A lot of people had cashed out equity to buy toys and whatnot. That didn't happen nearly as much this time around because people were still scared.
Right.
It had to do with the amount of houses available.
Right.
Stuff
Inventory,
like that.
And so they talk about that
rates,
too.
There was like 5 things.
Yeah, so it talks about that too. You know, inventory, the builders have been pretty cautious about not oversupplying the market. And I mean, in fact, we've had an extreme shortage of inventory going into this. So we have seen an increase in inventory, but, you know.
Because right before this, I mean, it was like 12 offers on a home.
Yeah.
Especially something that was ready to move in.
Yeah, it wasn't a fun market for a buyer to be in. It was an extreme seller's market.
Yeah.
So that's why I said the buyers that are jumping in there are taking advantage of, hey, what was 10 offers, now there may be a offer or none.
Right.
And I've got a seller that'll negotiate and I can still get a good interest rate, so why not take advantage? We don't know how long this is going to last. I mean, we may see a buyer get 5 or 10% better off now, and then we'll pick back up with pent-up demand.
Yeah.
And, you know, those buyers took advantage are going to be thankful. Or we could see prices decline a little bit more. But I think what it talks about too is you know, is depending on what your goals are. But if you're buying a house in the short, I mean, if you're buying and your needs are to buy now, if you're a flipper, then yeah, I'd be watching the market and be concerned. But if you're going to live in that home for next 3 to 5 years, who cares? You know what? If you buy right now and prices go down another 5 or 10%, then in 3 to 5 years, you should be back up and you got a great rate. Let's say you wait till later this year, next year, prices are down or 5 or 10%, but interest rates are up another percent. You know, so there's always trade-offs. You know, you just don't know. So
I'd like to get a good graph of how much prices have to drop to equal like 1 point of interest rate. Right. I'm sure it's quite a bit.
Right. So statistics show less than 1% time the market in or out at the very top and bottom. So everyone else is somewhere in the middle. So it says, you know, homeowners, what's your advice? If you're not in a hardship, and then sit tight. Don't worry about it. Don't panic. You know, if your value goes down a little bit, unless you're planning on selling in the next 6 months or a year, who cares?
Now, I was speculating that, you know, I think with a lot of people sitting home, they're starting to reevaluate things like their life, who they're married to, unfortunately, and their living situation.
Of course.
Maybe they're starting to realize, like, man, I'm not here at this house enough, and now that I am, I'm realizing this place is too big, or it's too small.
Right. So I saw a report, or an article, I think it was last week, Zillow said their home views and site visits were up like 52%.
That's good.
So there's more eyes on real estate now than there have been even when the market was crazy hot. And probably because people are sitting around, and if you're in a 3-bedroom and thought you wanted that 4th bedroom, now after being stuck there for a month and a half, you're like, I better have that 4th bedroom, or I better have that bigger yard, or that extra square footage might, you know, especially when they're talking about this might come back in the fall.
Right.
So if this happens again, or if God forbid we go into another quarantine or lockdown, it's like home is that special place. It better be perfect, you know?
And depending on how jobs come back, we don't know. People might have to just move for jobs. Right. Especially those in the construction and these jobs, you know, we just talked about some big projects being shut down. That's a lot of people.
Right. Well, and then if more people start working from home, like we were talking about, so people might start needing an office in their home, you know? So,
there you go.
So I mean, I think that we're going to see, come out of this, I think we're going to see some people list their home and want to move up or move down or make that swap, so. And the article doesn't talk about that, we're just expanding on that.
That's about it in that article, right?
Yeah.
That's about it. So there'll be a link to the article down in the bottom, you guys. Check it out. Let's move on to the next one here. We got a memorandum from the officer, the Governor Steve Sisolak of Nevada, says that Nevada, Colorado will join California, Oregon, Washington, and the Western States Pact. So basically it's a Western state governors say health outcomes and science, not politics, will guide decisions to modify stay-at-home orders. I think they're going to coordinate with each other what businesses should open and what phases as well.
Yeah, I mean, basically it's just saying instead of making the decision just for this state, they've gotten together and said, hey, we're going to share a brain and figure it out, which
I think it's smart.
everyone's joked around that let's ask Governor Newsom what's going to happen in our state because our governor's waited for him to do something before he responded. So, but yeah, I think
Don't
they
ask
just.
our mayor because we saw how that interview went.
Yeah, I think they're
Did you
just.
watch that?
I saw bits and pieces of it. I didn't watch it live.
It was rough. It was rough for
I heard. But yeah, I think they're just putting their heads together and say we're gonna collaborate.
Okay.
Kind of like what we do in real estate and
Right.
masterminds. We're gonna collaborate and figure this thing out, and then we'll make a decision kind of as all as one instead of one for all.
Yeah, just commit to working together and following 4 goals: protect the vulnerable populations, ensure the ability to care for those who need it, mitigate the non-direct COVID health impacts, and protect the general public by ensuring any successful lifting of intervention includes systems for testing, tracking, and isolation.
So, good news is that they're putting some plans in place and talking about the opening and not just not now,
Yeah,
and
not
not
now.
the
It's not a good
we
time. Too
don't
soon.
know. So let's make some progress here.
We'll jump over to Forbes. Forbes has an article here, says why now might be the perfect time to acquire real estate.
I haven't seen this one, so.
So we'll talk about how the values of things could come down, but they're historically recorrections haven't really come into the housing market. The housing market is its own animal, and stock market recorrections don't always affect the housing market.
Right.
Obviously, there's so many people out of work, and we've lost so many points on the stock market. It's going to come over a little bit, right? Like we
It has to
maybe.
correlate a little bit, but yeah, I mean, if
10,
you look at
15%.
if you look at the last 4 recessions, except for the last one, obviously we had a huge decline in housing, but the recession was largely driven because of the housing market.
Subprime mortgages.
Yeah, prior to that, the previous 3 recessions, real estate actually appreciated in some cases.
Right,
So
and it talks about that in here.
Right,
Yeah, it
yeah.
talks about that a
So-
lot of times real estate goes up.
yeah, so a recession doesn't
Because it's a
mean
safe spot.
Right. It doesn't
Right.
mean that it's gonna.
If you're an
crash the
investor
housing
and
market.
you're, and the stock market's risky right now, where do you put your money where it's safe? Right? Housing. And then he talks about, obviously this is an opinion, but I guess he's got some investments now, and he's saying that instead of fearing this market or what may transpire in the near future, he recommends using this time to acquire property. Mortgage rates are unbelievably low, and in the short term, there will certainly be deals in your local market. He personally has put multiple offers on investment properties, some at 25% under list price. Many sellers are willing to negotiate with buyers and are eager to unload their inventory. There's sellers out there that are going to think that this might be the only offer I get.
Right.
But at the same time, the realtor's telling them, like, don't lower the price. So people aren't really lowering the price. You're not seeing price drops. But they are taking any offer serious.
Some are. We have seen some sellers go out there and kind of panic sell a little bit. They'll throw it in,
Yeah.
and we are seeing them go under contract pretty fast. So when that seller throws out something that's a good bargain, there are a lot of eyes
People
on
jump
there,
on it.
and yeah, people are jumping on it. So like he's saying, I guess you're looking for the ones that need to sell, because if you need to sell and the buyer's not there right now,
Dude, I
there's
saw a
buyer.
deal I wish I had some cash stored up for.
Yeah.
There was an 1.5-acre property out there just west of Racetrack, kind of by Ben's house. 1.5 acres. It had a 50-foot by 40-foot garage shop in the back. Massive. It would have been awesome. And then the house was a 3,400 square foot with a basement. It had been gutted. There's no walls in it.
Oh, on Orleans
Orleans.
for 280.
280.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a
The house had foundation
$700,000
problems.
house when you're done though.
I looked at that house a long time ago.
Did you? Foundation problems.
Yeah, there was some pretty large cracks going from the first floor down to the basement. I mean,
It
so
looks like they started addressing because the house doesn't even have siding or anything on it. Yeah, it's all been chipped away.
it looked a little scary to me.
Yeah?
I looked at it. Yeah, I got offered it before they gutted
I
it.
saw that huge property. And I was like, man, that's a lot of space in that garage.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be a good project for somebody.
150,000 in there. You got an $800,000 house. All right, let's go back to here. This is an article I read in the Upshot cheaper roof over your heads during the pandemic. Jason never saw this one, but it talked about a new arrangement combining the advantages of renting and buying. This could help keep people in their homes and help millennials enter the housing market. But hidden within there is a danger. Basically, what it's saying that let's go down here to how it works. Instead of just lending people money to buy homes, companies are co-investing with them. In other words, taking an ownership stake in the home. This can come in many different forms, including offering down payment assistance or providing a substitute for home equity loans. The underlying principle is the same. A home buyer or existing homeowner receives cash in exchange for a share of the ownership of the home. The co-investor then shares in the home's rising or falling value, often disproportionately to their ownership, and two, sometimes requires a flow of monthly payments to the occupant. This sounds like a payday loan for housing. And we all know payday loans are risky.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to like look into that a little bit more.
So if you guys want to read up more about this, check the comments down below. Yeah, interesting. I mean, they're always going to come up with ways, right?
Yeah. It's a new one. It's a new one on me.
They say it's kind of like lease to own type of situation.
Sure. Be interesting to see.
The current practice is to require people to sell or refinance the home after several years to the so the co-investor
they can cash out.
So to pay back. So I guess they say it's a loan against your house,
right,
for so much time, and then you have to pay it back or cash out, sell the house or whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, or refinance.
Everyone's always coming up with a new creative solution to something.
All right. Well, that looks like about it. How long have we been going now? A little while. 31 minutes. Not too bad.
Sure.
Anything else you got to add?
Not that I can think of.
What do you guys, we're going to be moving to another system. We don't want to tell anybody about it. Looks promising.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, that's to go back to what have we been doing, dissecting the business, looking at the marketing. So, yeah, analyzing our CRM, analyzing our marketing, our budgets, breaking down the business, staying in contact with clients. We haven't been contacting leads and trying to sell, this isn't the time for it, but just reevaluating the business. So we decided to go with a new CRM and a different marketing platform that I think has got some cool tech and stuff. Yeah. So we're going to be rolling that out in the next 30 days.
What was I going to ask? I forgot the question I was going to ask. It was a good one. Damn it. We'll come back. I started thinking about this question, and then I started thinking, here, you can see my shorts. I'm not all business. I don't know what the question was. Shoot. But then I started thinking in my head, like, man, other people that support our industry, like, man, what kind of shape are they in? Like home inspectors.
I mean, home inspectors have still been working again. So I did get some stats. This was actually one thing I wanted to talk about. So I've been monitoring, daily, but really like week by week, what's hitting the market. So last 7 days, and that'll kind of wrap full circle with your home inspector. So, the transactions are still happening. So in the last 7 days, 1,192 homes hit the market. So new listings, almost 1,200 homes.
That's quite a bit.
Seems like a lot. But 1,156 homes went under contract.
Oh.
So almost that same number went under contract. That's a good number, right?
So we're still sitting around 3.2 inventory?
I didn't look at the inventory. And then we sold 570 homes in the last week. So 570 homes closed. Price decreases were 1,088. So it's not something we were seeing before. Yeah. So we are seeing those price decreases. What that kind of tells me is, like, again, those buyers are out there, but they're getting better deals, and so those homeowners that were trying to inflate the values and push their values, I mean, they're probably not getting that now. Right. Homeowners are like, if you want to sell, you're going to have to probably get the buyer a better deal than they were going to get before. So
better deal, cover some closing costs.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we saw 1,088 decreases, and interesting, we saw 128 increases.
Wow.
So price increases. So maybe some hopeful sellers thinking that things are getting back to normal, and we're going to start
expecting us to open back up. And
maybe they came out of the gun, priced a little too low, and said, "No, wait, let me bump that back up."
So realtors, if you're sitting home doing nothing because there's nothing to do, there's buyers out there.
There are. I mean, 570 agents are going to get a paycheck this week, and another 1,156 put deals under contract.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
We're not doing as many as we were, but we're
Right.
still doing deals. There's still business. It's not just a vacation. So
Get out there and find it.
there's work. Or improve yourself. Take some online classes. You know,
There you
take
go.
a ePro certification course. You know, I mean,
I got to get my continuing education done
Yeah.
before July. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else in your stats there?
No, that was all. I mean, that's what I like to monitor is just those key specifics. I look at other
Yeah,
stuff,
so
but
578 deals. I think there's roughly, last time I actually took classes on the home inspection stuff. I'm going to have the teacher in here sometime soon, talk about it. But I think there's 350 or so active home inspectors.
right.
That's
So,
it, in the valley.
oh really?
Crazy. So,
Yeah.
there's plenty of
So
work
there's
for them.
1,156 deals for them to inspect.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So
So they should be doing all right,
yeah. So
especially if they're good. I got a good guy. We have a good guy.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Check us out tomorrow. Anything else?
That's it.
That's it.
Signing
All
off.
right. Peace out. Hey guys, hope you liked that episode. That was some good stuff there from our guest. I want to thank them for coming on. Always welcome back. I want to thank my audience. That's you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys got something out of this. Make sure you guys like the video down below there. Click that red subscribe button so you can get updates of when we put new stuff out. Almost daily. Try to be daily. We'll see. And then, yeah, if you guys want to be a guest on the show, make sure you hit me up. And then also want to thank my sponsor, Family Health CBD. They're the ones that provide this great studio for me to do this in. So thank you, Family Health CBD. Come on down, check out all the stuff they got there. They got the tinctures. That's the oil you drop under your tongue, get you taken care of from the inside. They also got the edibles, the gummies, chocolates. What else they got? They got creams. So when you have the joint pain or the muscle pain, you put that cream on there, pain goes right away. Got stuff for your dogs. You know, maybe your dog's a little hyper. Maybe your dog has some anxiety, or maybe just has some pains. My dog's getting old. She's 11. She's limping around quite a bit. So I give her some CBD every day, and it's helped her out. She's definitely a lot more active when we get up. It does make her tired during the day, but she's just more active as far as the pain. And then what else we got here? We got some edibles, smokables, flour, vapor stuff. Again, the creams. What else we got? They got some stuff to boost your immunity to help you get through these dark times and make sure your body is up to the challenge of the coronavirus, COVID-19, and influenza and everything else that's out there. So come down and check it out off of the 215 Belt Route and the Eastern Corridor there, right in the Beltway Marketplace. That's where the Ross and the Walmart and stuff are in. It's right in the corner there on Serene next to the Rubio's. So come on down, check out all the great products down here. And again, thanks for checking in the show. See you later.